It is October. What do you love about the fall? Think about it. If you want, you could talk about it if you're meeting with your team. Do you like the flavors of fall? Pumpkin spice and all things nice. Do you like the fashion of fall? Hoodies, sweaters, sweatshirts, jackets. Do you like fires in the fall? Yeah, I do. Do you like the feelings of fall? Cooler, crisp air, all that comes with that. What do you like? I know, I just made them all F words. Isn't that kind of fun? Fall is here, and there are a few things that come with fall that you all know we are stepping into, and I'm going to talk about a little bit of that in a minute. But first, it is time for the annual Blade Top Workplace Survey. You're going to be receiving an email next week, I believe, October 14th, maybe in 2 weeks. And you're going to be invited to participate in this anonymous survey, and we would ask you to get it done no later than October 27th. And the email will contain all the details that you need. The thing that you need to hear from me is just be honest. It's anonymous. It's helpful for us. And yes, it is our desire, our hope that we are acknowledged as one of the top workplaces again. So if you discover that maybe you're having a hard time rating your workplace experience pretty high, let that be an indicator that we would love for you to talk to your supervisor. Talk to Marcia. Let us know how we can get better. I mean, our intent is to steward every dollar that is given to us by God through the people of Cedar Creek. We want to maximize that impact. We do not take that lightly, but we also want to make it a life-giving experience for every team member, including you. And so if there's a way that isn't aligning, we want to help you, us, learn what we need to learn, help you navigate that so that you feel like you're thriving as well. And so, that'll be coming up. Excited to see those results. This weekend, we step into the most disappointing series ever. Yes, we are going to be taking some creative approaches to our programming that will, I think, delight people, might disappoint some, but I'm excited to try something new, take a little risk. What we will be doing scripturally is we are going to look at 3 different stories where Jesus, you could say, intentionally disappointed people. Maybe not intentionally, like, I'm going to ruin your day. But what Jesus did was certainly would have been experienced as a bit of a disappointment. And so I think it's going to be meaningful for our church. I think it's relatable for life, but I also think it's going to be challenging. It's going to be really challenging. It's been challenging for me. So we're going to be stepping into that this weekend. Really excited about that. But this kind of brings up a leadership topic that I was thinking of. And that leadership topic is this. How do we handle disappointment as a leader? I mean, think about that for a minute. I mean, the truth is, we have goals, we have dreams, we have hopes and expectations. And when those expectations are met with a reality that's down here, that gap is called disappointment. The bigger the gap, the more disappointment we feel. For example, you may feel like you've gotten everything ready for the fall and you're at the starting line. You had everything lined up, and then a health issue or a family issue or an unexpected thing threw a wrench in all of your plans and hopes, and it's like, disappointment. Or maybe you had the team in place and everything was ready, and then you had a team member, a key team member, volunteer leader leave or asked to move or needs to take a break, or a staff member on your team is making a move. Or you are the staff member that is making the move and you're feeling disappointment. Like, how does that feel? Well, that is the gap. It's like, we thought we were going to be here and now we're down here and now we've got to deal with or navigate all of this feeling. And so I know for me, not the same, but I experienced this in fantasy football, right? It's that sense that, I had hopes of these players that are now all injured. And there's really nothing I can do about it. Like, I can whine and moan and complain, and I can go try to find other players, but the truth is, like, 4 of my key starters, my main point earners, are potentially out for the season. So how do we navigate disappointment as a leader? Do you quit? Do you just give up? Do you not care? Do you complain? No. First thing that you need to do is you need to see it. You need to see the gap, the disappointment. You need to confront the brutal facts. The truth is you can't move forward in anything if you're not seeing your reality today. And so that's not always comfortable. It's not always fun, but see it. You got to see your reality. You've got to acknowledge it. The second thing you got to do is you got to step into it. As leaders and as staff, we go first. We don't wait for someone else to solve it. We don't sit there and hoping that some, cure-all is going to show up. That means we go first. We take growth personally. And there's typically two things to do in disappointment. There's what I would call short-term triage, where you have to potentially solve a problem in the short term. But then there's also a long-term play that oftentimes in these disappointing things you can learn. Like there's an opportunity to grow or get better through that. And so what short-term triage do you need to do to help in the short term, while at the same time, how can you leverage, the old saying is never waste an opportunity. And so any challenge, or never waste a crisis, because every crisis is actually an opportunity if you can think strategically through that. So maybe, who are the people that you need to invite to help carry more in this season? Who are the people that it's time for them to potentially level up or for you to develop? If you're not in a crisis, who are you developing so that when disappointment comes, they're ready to go? We can be planning for that all the time. So gather a team together, think through working genius on ideas and discerners and, all of that can help maybe put some strategies together for you to present to your supervisor, so that it's not I have a problem, you deal with it. As a leader, we see it and we step into it. The third thing that we need to do is then you need to lead your team through the disappointment, because it's probably not just you feeling it. And so Larry Osborne, pastor of a multi-site church, one of the early multi-site churches out in California, he's a great pastor, leader, mentor. And he says when a team is struggling, it's the leader's job to absorb the chaos instead of spreading it. It's like you become a sponge for it. That means you become a safe place for some of the people around you to not gossip, but to be like, man, this is hard, and you can listen and you can take it. The second thing that you need to do is you need to remain calm. You need to see the issues. You need to see them, not ignore them, but not be seized by them. And so it's yeah, I see that. Yep, that certainly is a challenge. I see that. And the last thing that you need to do is you need to provide hope. Guys, we're going to get through this. Guys, we can, it's not just guys, team, we're going to survive. A year from now, we'll look back and this will be a story that we tell and maybe even laugh at. So remain calm, provide hope, and absorb the chaos. So that's what we do in order to lead your team. That's kind of the recipe. And I think as you do that, as you step into it, begin to short-term triage and long-term look for opportunity. As you absorb the chaos, as you remain calm and provide hope, what you're going to see is God is going to provide. I believe everyone that we need in order to get Cedar Creek to the next level is here. It's around us. God is our provider. He's building his church. And so maybe it's time to open our eyes again and to be patient when we don't see exactly what we need to see. An example that I was thinking of is at the Oregon campus. It was about a year ago where Andy Rechtenwald saw we were joking because it was his whole team quit within a month or had different things that they needed to do. And so he was dealing with a bit of staff chaos, if you will, disappointment. And as he navigated this, then the staff had to leave for various reasons, but look at how God provided. I think we got a pretty awesome team at Oregon. Not that there was anything bad with the people before, but sometimes what feels like the end of the world may be God realigning some pieces to create an opportunity for new growth. And so let's be expectant in the midst of disappointment for how God is going to show up. And I think if we do that, it'll help us navigate these maybe potentially disappointments in our life and in our leadership with a faithfulness that doesn't allow the disappointment to destroy us. And so that's my leadership investment for you today. Hope it helps. We'll see you guys this weekend.